How's it going? Welcome to a brand new edition of the Build series here in New York City. I'm Kevin Kenny, and our guest today burst onto the music scene a couple years back with her debut single, Gold. It went multi-platinum and scored a top 5 hit for her on the Billboard Pop Songs chart. She's back now with a brand new single entitled Messy. Kiiara! We've obviously got the messy cover art up here. We've got a lot to talk about with this song. We were saying before we went live, I think it's an absolute smash.
Thank you.
There's so many little hooks in it. There's so many things that I want to dance along to, sing
you
along
just sing
to.
it all the time. It's just playing.
No,
like
seriously, this was like on a loop for me this weekend, which is cool to have you here on a Monday. I feel like all new release interviews should be done like the Monday after because you get to kind of sink in with it and sit with the song. But how's the first few days been for you with this song?
It's wild. It's like I always try to savor the release day. Like I was told early on, like go for a walk or like a hike or something, but always like take it in. And so that's what I did. And it's just, having people around me and just like,
That's really cool.
Yeah.
You know what? That's something I don't typically think about. Maybe fans don't either. Is how you do spend a release day. So you went for a walk. You took a hike.
Well, I was where was I? Traveled. I was traveling, so I believe I was here.
Okay.
It all blurs. I've been traveling the last month,
so
it's
imagine.
very But like sometimes, when I'm home or whatever, I'll like just chill or whatever. But I think it's good to like step back.
There must be a different energy to your day, knowing that the song is out in the universe.
It's like because it's. I mean, when did I have done like recorded it months ago? So it's like when it's out, it's kind of like a, like. I hope people love it. Like I love it, So it's a cool feeling.
Nerve-wracking, but in a good way, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's like you crave it. Like it's like, okay, when's the next? Like,
Totally. Well, I don't know if this is just me picking up on nothing, but it feels like a new era. Like it almost feels like Kiiara 2.0.
Yeah.
From the visuals to the aesthetic to the sound. The sound is definitely your sound, but it just seems like evolved. It's on a higher level now. And I noticed you did the Instagram thing recently where you deleted everything before
I did.
February.
Yeah.
The Lord thing. Lord just did the same thing, I think,
really?
on Twitter. Yeah.
I feel like it was,
So what inspired that?
Just my brain.
Okay. Was that just a flip into decision?
That was just like a very, I was in a zone and I was like, I'm deleting everything. And I think I did it like 4 times.
No way.
I kind of don't think things through a lot and I'm just like gone. And then I'm like, ugh. They're like, did you archive them? I'm like, no.
No,
they're gone. I'm sorry. Like
they're
I might have
gone?
them somewhere, but
Oh my gosh! At least Lord archived.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I know.
So that wasn't part of some marketing strategy or anything?
That was
you
just a
one
move.
Day.
Yeah.
Is that how you focus as an artist?
What do you mean?
Well, in terms of like, why would you want to delete everything? Is it because you said you were in a zone?
I don't know. I feel like maybe a fresh start or just, I don't know. Yeah. Or I started looking back and I'm like, moving forward, like, like I was just, I don't know. I was just in like, literally like, I get into like weird zones and then I just do things that I look back and I'm like, why did I do that?
Right.
Like, I don't think through anything.
Looking back, is there a post you missed the most? There's got to be
There's
one.
a few, yeah. There's like
a
few moments. There's, trying to think, like when I went to Germany with Linkin Park, like stuff like that. And then like, Amsterdam with, Amsterdam was Belgium with Dimitri Vegas and like Mike. Like that was the first time performing like at Tomorrowland, which is crazy. Like you look out and it's just majestic. So like stuff like that and
Wow.
Yeah.
You've had such an amazing run. To me, it feels like a blink of an eye. I can't believe what it feels. Probably feels like half a blink of an eye for you.
Yeah.
But if anyone who's watching at home right now and isn't familiar with your come up, I think it's a fascinating one. So if we kind of go over the highlights. From what I understand, at some point in 2015, if I have the year right, you're working at a hardware store out in Illinois. And then like a year later, Gold is one of the most played songs on US radio. So connect those dots for me.
So so even earlier, like I was just writing and I reached out to this, I heard a song and I didn't know who the guy was. I didn't know he was like with the Cataracts or anything. And I was like, I would love to write with you. Like I heard this track of yours. It was a shot in the dark, And he was like, okay. And so we started writing via email. And then he ended up flying me out to LA. We worked on stuff and he introduced me to a producer. And we just started working, whatever. And that's like during that time period, I wrote Gold on a guitar and he loved it. And I was just like, on to the next, blah, blah, blah. So he kind of kept revisiting it. And then one day when we were in the studio, it was the last song we did that night, like the third one at like 3 a.m. Recorded it, next day, finished it, and it was, like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and we would walk the LA River and just be like, yeah, maybe like 1,000 people hear it, like whatever, like we love it, maybe other people, and we put it out, and it was just insane. But I still hadn't moved out yet. So once it got released, then I moved. He like moved me out. I couldn't pay for my rent or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
You talk about writing Gold initially, that smash hit on a guitar.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez just put out a new song called Back to You. And she
Oh,
was talking
yeah.
about how she is such a proponent of starting on an instrument like a guitar or a piano
Yeah.
and being able to strip a song back and that being the mark of a great song.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you feel
easier.
something like similar?
I think it's like, it's more, I don't know how to explain, like authentic or something, like when you get sent a full-blown, all done produced beat and like write to it, it's really hard because you have nowhere to move. With the guitar, you can play notes that aren't even like real chords or whatever and make a song out of that, and then the production comes in and it could be anything.
Totally.
You know, so I think it does give you like a more like control over what you want to do, what you want to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Along the same lines, I know a lot of rappers that enjoy sort of like minimalistic beats.
Oh yeah, just
because
like a
there's room to
drum
make it your
or
own.
bass. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about talking about your journey? One of the first songs that I heard of yours was Feels.
Really?
I loved Feels, and I still love it to
Yeah.
this day.
My friend Brenton's gonna be like, I think he's watching it.
Oh, really?
he's gonna-
Did
yeah.
he help you out on Feels?
He produced it. Yeah,
way.
with another producer.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
amazing song, and I heard it on SoundCloud 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But what's funny to me is the parallel between, or the contrast, I should say, between Feels and what we're talking about on Messy. Because
Yeah.
Feels is really giving yourself up to all these emotions and you kind of
Oh,
being swept
yeah.
up in them. Whereas Messy, now you're at a place
Now
where
I'm
you're
like,
no,
I don't want
let's
any
stop
emotions because
this.
I already know I can't handle it. Like,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that apropos for your personal journey from the past 2 to 3 years? Or
I would say, yeah, we still joke how we all have way too many feels and way too much emotion, especially because like I'll vent to him a lot and he'll be like, okay. Like he'll like really bring me back down to like, yo, you're good. But yeah, I think, and now like with the Messy, like just realizing like, okay, I can step back from it, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, a new approach.
Totally.
But
Now, are you more Feels these days, or are you more Messy in terms of you and your personal life? In terms of like, are you more like giving into these
Both.
emotions? Oh, both. Does it
I need to
depend
work
the day?
on, like just recently too. Yeah, this guy definitely made me cry.
No way.
Yeah, a
Now, do-
lot. A ton. I'm embarrassed.
We won't name drop, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would, but no, it's fine.
Well, what I'm trying to get to a little bit is how the music industry you feel has changed you, or career in music has changed you. I was reading an article you did with Cosmo about last summer. I think it was like
Okay.
last July, around there, and you were reflecting on hearing your song on the radio for the first time.
Yeah.
At that point in time, if we're talking last July, that could have only been a year ago in your life.
Yeah.
But you were almost nostalgic. You were speaking to the innocence of it all. Do
Oh,
you
yeah.
feel like there is a loss of innocence, sort of pursuing something this ambitious?
Wait, what do you mean? Like
Well, in
when I
terms
hear
of
it
like
again,
you-
or?
No, like when just the Cosmo piece that I was reading, you seem to be sort of reminiscing on the innocence of hearing your song
Yeah.
on the radio for the first time. It struck me because it was like, well, here's this artist, Kiiara, kind of looking back 12 months ago and feeling like that was an innocent time in her life, maybe compared to now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there is sort of like a fast forward button on growing up once you decide you're going to be an artist for a living?
You definitely, have to like really grow up super fast. And it's like you kind of want those moments. Like, please just let me mess up. Like, come on. Like I remind people of my age all the time, and I'm like, give me a break. Like, really, like look around. What would any other 22-year-old do?
No,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
I
kind of like crave it. It's like, let me mess up. Let me get in trouble once. Like, but
Well, I think it's ridiculous because once you have like a hit song,
Yeah.
we're supposed to like forget that you're just like, 22, 23, however,
Yeah.
early person in their 20s
Yeah.
who are going through all these things for the
oh yeah, I
first
feel
time.
like I'm like 30
Yeah.
or 40. Yeah.
The music industry ages you, as they say.
Yeah, I need to chill. I feel like, it's like sometimes because I'll bounce ideas off my friend. I'm like, is that cool or do I sound like, am I lame? Like, that's cool to say, right? And so, yeah.
Especially
so-
with the captions, right? You got to get the captions.
Oh, yeah.
right.
I'm
Gotta
like,
console.
you think of it. I can't. No captions better than like, so. Yeah.
Getting back to your journey, you know, you strike gold, no pun intended, with gold, but it goes to smash hit around the world. And then 2017 happens, and what I have to imagine is one of the first things that happens that year is the Chainsmokers ask you to open for them. And at that point in time, you know, the Chainsmokers are the biggest act in the world. They've got 3 top 10 hits in early 2017, and they choose you to open for that tour. How did that feel?
It was super awesome because, like, I knew them before Selfie and stuff. Like, I hadn't met them until, like, years later. But, like, we worked on, or tried working on stuff, like, via email. And so when, like, Alex, I think he called me and asked me or something. And I was like, yes. Like, and I think he was hoping they weren't, like, because it was a long tour, my longest tour ever. And so I think he was like, I hope it's not too many, like, tour dates or whatever, but I was like, no, it was amazing. So it was kind of like a full circle thing. It was like they're brothers to me. They're just awesome. Yeah. Now, they're super sweet.
It should be said though, you, from what I understand, your first performance ever was 2016, right?
Yeah.
So less than a year later.
Oh yeah, and then like it was definitely really intimidating because it was like what 10,000 or more people a night.
Per night.
Yeah.
You played Forest Hill Stadium here in the city, right?
Yeah.
It's incredible. What did you learn the most from being around those guys?
Just to have fun and just to like, you're gonna learn on the way, maybe the hard way, maybe whatever, but it's like just they're so supportive and so understanding that it's like, it was nice, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. I'd say just have fun.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then right after that, or probably around the same time, do I understand it right, Mike Shinoda reaches out to you.
That was before.
Oh, that was before?
This is like, yeah, right after I dropped gold and stuff, Zane Lowe introduced us.
Okay.
And so he was like, come by the studio. So I go by the studio, and I'm like so nervous because I'm like, it's Mike Shinoda. I'm like, don't say anything stupid, like just be chill, whatever. So like, he played me a bunch of what they were working on for the past like however long. And it was just like mind-blowing. Like I still to this day don't understand how any of it happened. And yeah, and so then we just continued to work. Like I went back to the studio maybe months later, and he played me a more like fleshed out kind of idea of what the album would be. And he said, if you could pick a song, which would you want to be on? So he played them all, and I was like, this one, which was heavy.
Right.
And so then it just went from there, and they really taught me how to sing, like how to use, like how to project and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. They were like, stand at the wall and just yell, scream it. And so I was like, okay, like, you know, and it's, yeah. And singing alongside Chester is like it was so surreal because, I mean, I've been a fan since I was 5, so yeah.
So are there videos, or I hope there's documentation of you screaming against the wall?
I don't know if I mean, I'm sure someone has it. For sure. I was probably really like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm so loud. Yeah. But yeah, I know. And that was my first time too, being in a studio where I'm being filmed. So I'm meeting their whole team and stuff. Like, it's crazy.
That is crazy. What attracted you to Heavy? Because you said they played you, I forget how many tracks were on One
Yeah,
More Life,
a lot.
But, what about that song?
Just the whole message. Because there were other ones like where I was like, oh, I love that one too. I love that. But just the honesty, because when he played it was just Chester on the track, and just the way it came across, and I just really felt it. It was the one where I was like, definitely that one. Like I could relate. It was, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A band like Linkin Park, you know, they're such global superstars. They could really have anybody on their song, whether it's Linkin Park or whether it's, you know, you've got the great song out now with Cheat Codes.
Yeah.
What do you think it is about you that people seek out?
I don't know, like for that specifically?
Yeah, because think about it. Mike Shinoda could have picked up the phone, called anybody in the music industry, LA, New York, wherever around the world, and he chose you. Yeah. So what do you think it was about you and your vocals that he wanted to bring to the Linkin Park project?
I don't know. I have no idea. I remember it was the first time when I went to the studio, he was like, oh, it would be cool to have like some, because I did a lot of the falsetto, like oohs and ahs or like high stuff. He's like, it'd be cool to have that like in the back of one of the songs or something. And I was honestly at that point, I was like, you don't even have to credit me. Like I would love to, like anything, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just like, maybe it was my voice. Maybe it was just, I don't know. Right. Just, I don't know.
Well, the song,
how life is crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
The song became a huge success, cracked the top 50 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it's
Yeah.
actually up for top rock song this Sunday at the Billboard
Yeah.
Music Award. So round of applause for that. That's a big deal.
Thank you.
Very cool. Now, you're so busy these days. Are you going to be attending in Vegas?
Yeah.
Will you really?
I will. Yeah.
Very cool. I'm going to be there too.
You will.
Yeah, so
We'll have
stop
to
by
say
wherever the-
hi.
exactly,
Yeah,
wherever the heck I'm going to
seriously.
be.
Yeah.
But that's got to be a huge honor up for a Billboard Music Award.
Yeah. No, I'm super. It's definitely, it's surreal. It's super crazy.
Really wild.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, it's hard for my brain. I still don't understand it. I try not to, like, understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Just, I keep going back, 2-3 years ago, you were at a hardware store.
Yeah.
You're-
2-3 years ago, I dropped out of college twice. And yeah.
It's wild. I want to talk about Messy really quick and the
Okay.
video for Messy.
Yeah.
Great video.
Thank you.
You dropped it alongside the single on Friday.
Yeah, same day.
And I feel like there's a lot to talk about with the video because it opens with some very poignant images of male models, as I've
Yeah.
men, crying. And I think it's interesting because when you talk about the song Messy and it's about a relationship and not wanting to commit too fast and kind of running away from your feelings, I feel like inappropriately a lot of the times we think of the woman in the relationship, right, being like the
Yeah.
emotional one, but you kind of flip it here.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge thing that's going on in the video. Can you kind of talk about the concept and the messaging behind the video?
Yeah, so it's super personal to me, as in, like, just kind of deading a relationship or whatever happens before it even gets to a relationship, because, like, just the distraction it can be, like, you don't want to become emotionally invested, or at least I don't, because it's just, like, too distracting and I have way too many feels. So, like, it's just, like, normally I think that happens a lot where where a guy will ghost or move on with no explanation, all this stuff. But now it's like girls do that too, like, case in point, So yeah, it was just like a good way to show, like, just the different side.
Definitely. Flipping the script. I like
Yeah, it's like this happens.
No,
Dudes
exactly.
cry.
I
Yeah.
love the shot. I think the shot that sums up the whole idea is actually right here on the cover art, where
Yeah.
these dudes are like trapped inside the car and they're distraught and they're crying.
Confused and like, just like, yeah. And I think it's very hilarious that they're all together.
Right?
Yeah.
And you were telling me a really cool behind the scenes story of the video
Yeah.
shoot. That's a soft top car.
Yeah. So I was trying not, like, it was freaky because I was like, I'm gonna, like, fall through and I don't want to fall on someone. And then I made one of the someone from the production team stand behind the car, so if I fell off the back, because I don't pay attention and I'm very just like whatever. So I was like, can you just stand here and catch me if I, like, step off? So yeah, because I was doing, it's not in here, but I was doing, like, some dance moves and stuff.
On top of the car?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite the
So I was
video.
moving more than what's shown, but yeah.
Another
wild.
very cool thing that I saw you were a part of, I was actually talking to BB Rex about this
Oh,
out in
yeah.
Vegas recently, about the Women in Harmony event.
Yeah.
So-
that was so good.
Explain that for anyone that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
know about the Women in Harmony.
So Women in Harmony, it was a dinner we had that BB Rexa hosted, and it was a bunch of artists and songwriters, all female, and we all just, it was a way for us to network and kind of, because in the industry it's very, like, male and stuff, so, like, a lot of producers and stuff, so it was good to get us together so we can work with each other more and know, like, oh, hey, like, you just cross paths, because it's like we'll know each other through, like, social media and all this, and then it's like, oh my goodness, we finally meet, because our schedules are crazy, so it's like a great way to just connect and just make, like, those friends,
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
She was very emotional about it. It meant a lot to her, you could tell while speaking
Yeah.
to BB.
Yeah.
Was there
No, it
anyone
was
you met
great.
there that night that really stuck out to you, or just somebody you met for the first time that...
Yeah, well, it was good. I met, like, in person, Cruella, and they're from Chicago, so it was nice to, like, finally meet them, because we've performed at, like, the same, I don't know if it was a festival or something, but never ran into each other. But I would say them, and then other writers I've worked with, and new artists, and yeah,
That's awesome.
just, yeah, everyone was just amazing.
So Messy is, of course, out now. It's off to a great start. Is this the beginning of something, though? Is this beginning
Yeah.
of a larger body of work? What can you tell us about that?
I've been in the studio the last 2 years, just writing, working on music. So I don't want to say, like, when an album's coming out, but I would keep your eye out for songs, because I just want to be randomly dropping some. So I would say just stay on the lookout for that and an album soon. I just want to make sure it's right. That's why this takes so long. And yeah, I feel bad, but like it's worth it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I want it to be right. I want it to like mean what I have to say and everything.
Absolutely. And great music,
Yeah.
I think, takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So we'll be patient, I promise.
Yeah, I move on quick and love to rush things, but yeah.
With the music, you gotta hit pause. Let's turn it over to the audience. We've got some questions. The first will come from right here.
Hi, my name's Jassy. It's nice
Nice
to meet you. I love your music and I love your sound.
Thank you.
Do you have anything planned outside of music for yourself, like acting, modeling?
I have tried for a music video for the Linkin Park one, I did have to take acting classes. So, I mean, dipping into that, I didn't really I want to try it, but it was very emotional. But I'm looking, I love hair and doing stuff like that. So my friend and I are hoping to do something with that, but nothing set in the works yet. But yeah, hope so.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, with my weave. The story of my weave.
Let's get to our second studio audience question. It'll come from right here.
Hey, this is Matt. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask how your writing process has changed over the past couple of years, or if it is the same.
I would say it stayed a bit the same, and now I'll go in the studio and now I'm not afraid for people to stare at me while I'm freestyling or writing anything. So I've become more open with it, and I think just bringing in more writers and being more open to ideas, that's how I think it's changed a lot. Because I was very nope, like this, and now it's broadened perspective and stuff.
Cool. Thank you.
No,
That's
yeah.
awesome. All right, time for one final question right here.
Hi.
Hey.
Is there one particular artist you would love to meet and gain insight from?
Yes. Trying to think of who. I would love to meet Eminem. Honestly, if it's just to hang, just be friends, ask questions, whatever, just because I feel I would love to learn so much from him. Just how do you deal with this? Or what about this? Or how do you do that? I think.
That was your first CD, right, Eminem?
Yeah.
What Eminem CD, do you remember?
It was the one it was the 8 Mile one. I think it was the soundtrack. Or not this, it was all him, but I forget. It was or it was the Marshall Mathers. I don't know.
Around the same time, yeah.
Yeah, it was
What-
whatever one was out when I was super little. So around 1990 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it about M that because you mentioned M a lot, him and Yellow
Yeah.
Wolf. Was that a Midwest
Yeah.
thing that you're drawn to, or is it an attitude thing? Is it a music thing?
I think it's the storytelling because they're so vivid and you can picture what they're each saying and just the energy, the attitude. It's just very I don't know, the voice, the tone, everything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he's
it
great.
just captured, and I'm whoa, I want to do that. If I could, I would love to rap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'd be down for a rap from Kiiara.
yeah.
Never-
I'll do it all falsetto-y.
Yeah, definitely.
I just be
Chopped
the
up
falsetto
and-
rapper and be
I think she's rapping.
yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much. We're unfortunately out of time, but the single Messy is out and available everywhere. And as Kiiara said herself, there's more on the way, so stay tuned. And thanks for watching.
Thank you.